Hey loves, hey loves, hey loves, hey loves, hey loves. My name is Vaughn. I also go by Y, and this is another episode of Raise It Up Y, the podcast. We're coming at you the last Thursday in April 2022. In an episode we are calling 40 Water. Ooh. I mean, I don't know how they're going to really put that in the title, but it's a large indicator of where I am in life. April being my birthday month, April 13th to be exactly 1 month before Kendrick's last TDE album, which is going to be on a Friday the 13th. Makes me very happy. The West Coast is just pouring out of me. Let me reel it back in. You are listening to Raise It Up Y, the podcast, which is where OGs kick game to real ones only as we raise your self-awareness, your vibrations, and your capacities for love, which is just knowledge. And we do this with non-corny positivity from the West Coast to the world. And what I really enjoy is that you all, whoever you are, have taken your irrefutable, non-refundable time to be here exchanging non-get-backable, because I didn't want to say non-refundable twice, non-get-backable energy with me and my squad. And I'm very, very thankful for you. I feel like there's a lot of new introductions, given that half of the new subscribers to my channel have come as a result of me having a very eventful ending to the year 39 for me. 1 week before my birthday, I got a call from the Joe Budden Podcast, and as a result, I was featured on episode 524 entitled We Can't Lose, and it was featuring Sue Surf. On the part of the show segment, I got to speak with all the gentlemen and ask them a pretty fun question. I am not going to spoil that for you here because I would love if you all supported the boys and went back and listened to that episode. Since then, so many of the JBP folks, fans, listeners, subscribers, and just all of you patronies and all of you guys have been coming to my page, liking, commenting, and even subscribing to my channel. And for that, I'm very thankful. I feel very grateful, very happy, very appreciative. And I wanted to shout you all out right in the beginning of this podcast because y'all helped me bring in a new decade and close out a very beautiful decade in such a unique and who could have thunk it type of way. So from my squad to y'all, thank you very, very much. Boomer Did It is behind this camera here. The wonderful audio technician of our show is at I am Dave 4 at Boomer Did It. And then my beautiful angels set up my space here at Easy Missil on Instagram and at Cup of Sue, who is here in spirit. I just wanted to put my whole squad out there and all handles I provide the entire time you're going to be on this listening journey, or if you are on YouTube, this onlooking journey. Every handle I provide you will be on Instagram, and you can go out and find everyone else from there. I just want to say thank you, though. I'm a big believer in that which you give out is always coming back. And if any of you know me or are learning me, which some of you have been learning me, I live to help people. And creators, of course, are some of my favorite people. So if you go on my at Raise It Up Y, RAISEITUPWY, love say rockets up on these hoes. If you go to that page, quite often, especially in the stories, you'll see me finding gems within the hip hop community that feed us idea being we shouldn't have to leave us to feed us. There is positivity right here in what we all love and what we all do. And as an edutainer, an educator, and an entertainer, trained therapist, not a practicing one, I attempt to bring those types of dope vibes to everybody, and you all are no different. So, JBP folks, thank you. Love to you. All of your wonderful comments. I've been reading them. I'm looking to respond, and I thank you very, very much. To my OG loves, you guys are the shit, first and foremost. I plan to be incorporating you all even more in podcasts to come, especially because for my birthday, one of the gifts from Papa Von, Daddy Groove, Papa Groove, I think we call him actually, Papa Groove, my dad, long story short, Wayne Von, he got us a really cool piece of equipment that Boomer Did It really enjoys. So I'm going to figure out how we get to make fun ways to incorporate love culture even more on the podcast. So you all come to Love Tuesdays. If you guys don't know what that is, wait till the end where the pay you do section is, and I'll talk about how you can engage with me personally and the podcast even more, and we'll talk about that. But just know all of that is coming up. So in this episode, we are continuing the idea of fine tuning. We have been fine tuning vibrations all of 2022. Each year, we kind of have a theme for the podcast. We already kind of went over self-awareness. We looked at self-worth. And then this year, we're specifically, each episode in the year, we're going to be fine tuning some of our emotions, things we constantly feel, and things that we say we are, places we say we are in ourselves, where we are in our journeys. And we're going to be making sure that we're not just rhetoric folks. We're going to walk it like we talk it and talk it. And we're going to walk it like we talk it and talk it like we walk it. We're just going to make ourselves a little more congruent this year. In January, we kind of introduced the idea of, I'm calling it vibration calibration. And we looked at self-identity. In February, we kind of looked at self-identity, but in the confines of a relationship. It was love month. That's what we did. So we had intimacy as the vibration we were kind of fine-tuning. In March, we kind of recalibrated what feminine energy looks like, especially in the woman of today, the boss woman especially. Oh my God. We are such a fun species to study, but this episode, in the Wyann's Words of Wisdom, we're going to be kind of playing with the idea of cool and looking at what it means to really hone in on this vibration of cool. I had other things that I wanted to do for this episode, and every time I looked to divert, God kept pushing me back to, no, talk about the cool thing. Talk about the cool thing. So I'll give you that Wyann's Words of Wisdom right now. Cool is an emotional straitjacket. Cool, the vibration of being cool, is an emotional straitjacket. I'll talk about that more at the end of the episode where the Wyann's Words of Wisdoms go. Segments of today is a high why. To break it down, we're still in poetry month, so there's going to be a lot of poetry coming at you. And we're going to do a get raised with none other than Mr. Wyann, a.k.a. TJ Wilkins. This ought to be very, very fun. But most of you know, each episode begins with grounding. This is where the trained therapist portion of me gets to shine and radiate on the show. And if you're driving, I'm going to invite you to keep your eyes open. And if you are anywhere else in the world and would be so likely inclined, I'm going to ask you to take a moment to be here with me. close your eyes if you'd like. Hear my voice. Really bring your attention to your feet. And to do that, wiggle your toes. How about you just touch your nose? And you're just doing that so that you can recognize that you are present and here. Breathe a breath in. Blow a breath out. Try that again. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. And take a moment to own this miracle that we call life. That you are breathing and winning just by living this life. Just by spending time with my voice right now, you're investing into your betterment. And I'd love for you to sit with that and feel proud and welcome. Let's go up. Let's go up together. Just giving you a recap. 40 was a bar. It was bomb. And one of my favorite gifts came from my angels. If you are an onlooker on YouTube, you can see exactly what I'm showing you. And if you are a love listener, let me read this mug to you. It says other 40-year-olds, and it has the picture of a cartoon horse. And then in rainbow-like letters, it says you. And it has a very in the moment unicorn with its leg and arms wrapped around a pole and in red platforms. So let's go ahead and take a sip for that. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. I got to hear from some of you all for my birthday, which was beautiful and amazing. And one of the Joe Budden folks, another podcast called At Cultured Visions Podcast. Shouts out to Ricky. He speaks about having watched episode 41 of the podcast and saying, yo, I've dated the types of women that can hurt or can be the ones that, seemingly are ready for love and aren't. And I described some of that in episode 41, talking about where sex plays a part, specifically losing virginity, where that plays a part in how we are to one another in relationship. And this individual was letting it be known that, yeah, sometimes you're not looking for the hurt, but the hurt finds you in these relationships. And now there's this attempt to be vulnerable, but at the same time, when you're in a relationship, once you've been hurt, you also keep yourself protected. It reminded me, got my poetry vibes out. So on Love Tuesdays the other night, we spoke about the 3-chord fold poems. So for some of you guys that don't know, Terrace Martin is my musical brother. And in his 2013 release, 3-chord fold, his debut, he allowed me to do some poetry to kind of move the album along. And the first poem on there is about a freeloader type of love. And that freeloader type of love is when you've been with someone so long that really you're just so used to being with the person that it's just like, you know what? this is what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it like this. It's sort of like an empty love, though. It's a bit of an empty love. The renter lover is the lover that loves through ego. The lady unto the gentleman and the gentleman unto the lady, if we're talking about heterosexual relationships. And these poems were being performed the other night at Love Tuesdays, and one of the loves said, "Gentlemen don't like the renter because she loves men like men tend to love her." I'll start posting these poems on my social media, especially the renter, so you guys will get a glimpse of what they're talking about. The buyer is the third type of love and the third type of lover. And this is the one you go all out for. This is your ride or die. This is the woman that's going to hold you down like you hold her down. Idea being you're holding her down. Like I'm not holding her back. You're going to hold her down. It's a trip when you're looking to be in love with someone and you recognize that you're ready for love, but just because you're ready for love doesn't mean that who you're currently dating is also ready for love. And I think it's one of the reasons why in today's society we see a bunch of people going out, killing the workforce, being highly productive out in the world, and rarely are they choosing to be in a relationship, because being in a relationship, a successful one, is one where if you're looking for certain things out of a person, chances are you have to become those things you're looking for. And looking for those things before, what am I gonna say? I don't want this to sound crazy. But looking for mutual love while you have a certain level of love to give. For the love culture OGs and people who have been around this podcast for quite some time, you all know the creepy old uncle idea in a lot of gentlemen. For new people, the creepy old uncle is the gentleman that only decides to settle down with a woman when he feels like all of his juice has been squeezed out. He realizes he's the oldest guy in the club trying to get at all the 18 to 25-year-olds. They don't give a damn about his money because he's not a fly nigga to them. A lot of this has backstories to it. I'm just looking to go forward in the story, so I'm not giving you all the examples. However, for a lot of guys, they may feel like my money is going to keep me relevant, so I can basically wait till I'm 52, who knows, to start taking myself seriously so that I can be in a relationship that matters to me with a fly girl, someone I'm looking to exude a type of fly that I think I am. That's what generally happens with some guys. And for other types, going back to the high Y from Cultured Visions podcast, sometimes ladies, we're the ones loving through ego, like the renter, who, because we real ass bitches and we give a fuck about a nigga, big Birkin bags, hoe, 5-6 figures. You understand me? We're the ones that, because we're young, fly, little vixens, we don't think it's important to settle down until some real life shit happens, until you're on your third or fourth surgery, until you have several kids and you see, hold on, I need something to sustain me. When you decide to be in relationship out of a desperate necessity, gentleman or lady, or however you identify, the caliber of relationship you're embarking upon is one that looks like settling. And a lot of people have described to me in various conversations, Love Tuesdays and things, that one of the biggest reasons they're scared to be in relationship, they feel fear to be in relationship, is because they don't want to settle. Question becomes, to have the relationship you desire, what are you willing to do? For some, I want this dope ass bomb relationship of my life, but I'm willing to change absolutely nothing about where I'm at in this life. Now, if life circumstances happen and then, I can't fuck no more. I need a woman to love me from my heart. Wait, hold on. Or ladies, you're on your third baby dad and now you want somebody to take you seriously. This is no judgment. All of this is said from actual relationships that I have with folks that I know. I'm just protecting their anonymity. I'm giving you all any of this so that you recognize love doesn't have to come from a space of desperation and settling. And if I've been hurt once before in high school, I'll never love again. No. The resident Saidi of love culture, Mitsun Okeda, one of the loves, she's been on the podcast before. We were speaking in a Love Tuesdays and she very easily said, how you get your baggage is not your fault. But once you have that baggage, it is your responsibility to deal with it. It's not saying that you asked for it to be on your plate, but once it's yours, only you can deal with it. Whether that looks like journaling, whether that looks like conferring and talking to people who care about you in groups of loving brotherhoods. If it's you going to professional therapy, a spiritual therapist, who or whatever. Once the bags are yours, they are your responsibility with which to deal. And what I was speaking to Ricky about was, I love having these types of conversations because where else can a gentleman say, yeah, I was hurt and I have a hard time being vulnerable with women without being judged, attacked, critiqued, any of these sorts of things. It's a challenging space to be in. And as a result, it's one of the reasons why we have Raise It Up Why. This platform is designed for people, especially gentlemen, to be able to speak with candor, with vibrato, not having to be perfect. We can take the rough around the edges and smooth them out as need be, so long as love and respect is the core. This is a safe space for lots of people, and men are at the top of that list. But many different types of demographic are all in what we call love culture. That's the supporters of this podcast and all things YN, basically. But I wanted just to shout out Ricky and Cultured Visions podcast one more time, just to say thanks for even listening to the episode. Let's talk about sex, baby. And thank you for giving me feedback about how it resonated with you. And thank you for feeling safe enough to converse with me about that in my, DMs and everything. And know that you can always have this space for us to have these types of talks. And those things are okay. Feeling vulnerable is a scary thing, but it's probably the bravest thing that any of us can and or will do. And with that, I'll conclude the high why portion. Mind you, he didn't ask a question. It was just, I thought it was bomb that from the new exposure to the podcast and all the new potential loves in our midst, that I had such a dope interaction, such an authentic interaction off rip with someone I didn't even know. And they have their own podcast. Once again, Cultured Visions Podcast. Thank you so much, Ricky, for speaking. And once again, the Renter poem on from the 3-chord fold poem set, I will put that video up and re-promote it on Raise It Up Wise Instagram. All right, Break It Down. Break It Down comes from a poet within hip hop, which most rappers are. We're going to say all rappers are. Okay, which with most rappers are. My level of hip hop states that. I hope you guys recognize I am wearing my Rose That Grew from Concrete shirt, straight from the Wake Me When I'm Free Museum of Tupac right here in Los Angeles currently. And that was another pre-birthday gift from a little doll of a gentleman. Y'all will see him in a second. But I even have the bag. Hold on. And they were charging for the bag, you know. Yeah. As they should. It's a keepsake. So, some of you all listening loves, just know I'm taking out my Wake Me When I'm Free Tupac Shakur, a museum experience, Los Angeles, California, 2022, baby. Every time I see this, someday we'll all be free. Yeah, such an inspiring exhibit. I hope you guys get to go whenever it comes near you. And of course, I already have the book, The Rose That Grew from Concrete. And on the back of this shirt, this whole poem in Pac's handwriting is there. But just so you guys know, it's also here in the book. I thought that was pretty fly. For those at home or listening, I am showing the handwritten and then typed versions of Tupac's poem. And the book is under the same name, The Rose That Grew from Concrete. I want to read it and break it down just a bit. And he notes here that it's autobiographical. So he's talking about himself. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else even cared. I thought that was, he said it was autobiographical, but man, I feel like this describes so many folks who come from a disenfranchised background, so many folks who are thought to be societal outcasts, so many folks who don't have equitable beginnings to this thing we call life. And I like to bring it up during National Poetry Month, which is April, just because I feel like this podcast tends to speak to a lot of those types of roses that grow from concrete. Whether you're part of my LGBTQ plus listenership, whether you are part of the hip hop community, which for years we've been, put to the background of all music conversations. Not only that, if you're from the West Coast, when they start to speak about greats in this industry and they start to talk about who is really that nigga, you understand? With the exception of like Pac and Kendrick, both 1 day apart in birthday, by the way. We don't hardly get mentions, like we don't got Ice Cube. Like we don't got, I get it that they say, I know Corrupt is from Philly, but I feel like he's a LA rapper. He represents us very, very much. That's just what I figured. You know what I'm saying? But I just know we have other noteworthy folks, and I feel like those folks, those groups, we don't always get the types of credit that we warrant for our contribution to this beautiful thing that we call hip hop culture. So, but yeah, it's just, I feel like this poem right here is one that speaks to the idea of people rising above their circumstances. And I hope with a lot of the violence that's going on in the hip hop game, excuse me, and with gang culture that originated right here in LA being so pervasive. I'm learning it's so pervasive in other parts of America, like the New York, the North Carolinas, the, people telling me, yeah, cause such and such, I'm hearing these people and but they're saying cuz with the East Coast accent. I'm like, that sounds crazy. Or talking about Brazil Street in Compton, and I'm like, have you been? It's just, I'm not trying to be that person. I'm not trying to be that person. I am, though, trying to say, if you didn't know there was a Brazil Street in Compton and you're from that set, it just starts to be a little like, oh, okay. However, this is not a, whose dick is bigger, who's horde out here on the yard. This is not about that for me. This is about the fact that you are all roses that grow from concrete. And I believe that when you look in that mirror and see and know self-worth there, you have the ability to walk without feet. By keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air, is what this poem says. And I would implore all of you, whether you come from a slum somewhere, or if you're from the suburbs, I mean, you could have a trust fund. I don't care who you are. Having a dream acts like a North Star for you. And it keeps you in a space where you can always have an aspiration. I think that's a really positive place for any of us to be. And it helps us breathe fresh air. And long live that rose from concrete that lives in you, that flourished and flourishes when no one else even cares. I'm a big firm believer in keeping a support system around you, but I'm also well aware that sometimes you have to be your rah-rah. You have to act as that thing for yourself until you calibrate your vibration so well that you attract your tribe to you. Ali Shaheed Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest is the one that really poured into me back in 2016 or 17 and 16. And he said, why? You will find your tribe. Everyone finds their tribe. But you got to make sure that you are being the authentic you so that you can attract the right folks over to you. And because of that, I give that gem that was given to me out to you all. We all have a support system. We all have people that fuck with us the longest way. And as a result, for you to have those people come in your lives, whether it be romantically, whether it be as a support for what you're looking to do, the only way that they exist with you and that you're attracting the right folks to and for you is when you're the fullest and realest version of yourself. If you find that you shrink around a certain amount of people or a certain type of person or in certain environments, rethink that occurrence. Sometimes you have to get yourself into a state where you say, nah, fuck that. I'm going to be fully me regardless where I am. And you have to learn to believe in yourself when other people look like they're doubting you. In other cases, maybe those places that shrink you, you don't even need to fucking go. Maybe those aren't your places for real. You know what I'm saying? And if they are avoidable, if there are places that you can say, you know what? These aren't even my people. What am I doing here? I play myself small every time I'm here. I doubt my abilities every time I'm here. Those sometimes are spaces that you can just 86, truly, you know? But long live all of you roses from concrete. I don't know that I'm from concrete. I don't believe I'm from concrete. But I do think I'm a rose. And I think that self-doubt has attempted to creep in just the same. And, tell me who I could and couldn't be. Sometimes it don't be other people. Sometimes it be yourself in your own head. Because that sometimes has been my case. Keep it a bean. So I would like to introduce a fellow of mine, the fellow of mine, for this next portion of the podcast. It's called Get Raised. And this is the portion of the podcast where I don't just spew my thoughts. I bring my friends and fellow OGs. Well, he's not really OG, you too young. But I bring OGs onto this pod and into this space such that, you want to get that? You want to get that? I didn't want to. He's going through it, poor baby. It is spring and pollen is real. So we're just dealing with that. We are, in a great way, going through some really cool and new times in our personal situation. And as a lot of folks have learned about this guy from the Joe Budden Podcast, calling him Mr. Wyann, my loves requested that I have TJ Wilkins return to my space in order to kind of hear his words on how things have been for the last couple of weeks. So let me scoop myself. Boom, you let me know. This poor little space right here. Hi, babe.
I was gonna put my arm around you, but no.
That ain't gonna work.
No. No, I can see.
Oh, damn with you. So, Mr. Wyann, or as Y Dizzle, shouts out to Y Dizzle, he'll say, excuse me, you are Mrs. TJ Yellow, 5 Z's, the long way, not the wrong way. Yes. So, but you know why I love Y Dizzle? He, for those who don't know, at Y Dizzle with 5 Z's. Okay, that's my brother, not that other. Hello, yellow. One of the loves in love culture, Mr. Y Dizzle, is a husband to his core. He is a husband and a father to his core. And as a result of such, he's very big on, I mean, I know you doing your thing. And he said, but that Mr. Wyann, no, you are Mrs. TJ. Don't get it wrong. You understand? I said, yes, Y Dizzle, I understand. We are mutually submitting and submissive to the whole collective that is this relationship. Do you agree?
Wholeheartedly, I agree.
If you're looking on from YouTube, He's going to keep being this animated every time he puts that mic up to his face. I just want you guys. He does not enjoy that mic.
Man, I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm here with you.
Thank you. You wanna?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Tell the people who you are.
Damn. No, I'm just kidding.
Boom! I thought he was gonna do that shit. He was just doing over there. That's why I said
brother.
that.
Hi, how you doing, brother? All right, we're here with ms.wyann.
Oh my
That's what
Lord.
she wants.
No, that's what I want.
Mrs. TJ.
Oh, excuse us. There
here
it
in
is.
the building right now, making it happen. Recital.
Do you? Well, no. Let me ask you instead of asking. Do you?
Okay.
How have you been feeling looking at my social media and seeing a bunch of niggas you don't know call you Mr. Wyann? I had to ask, hey, boom, no, I had to ask him, like, how do you feel about all this? Because, and I just think it's a good question to ask because, you know, how do you feel about all this? Let me just let you talk.
Oh, no. It's like, well, thank you, baby. No, honestly, I love it. One because you know, I know people don't mean no harm by it.
Yeah.
You know, the way that you were introduced to a lot of people, you know, or we were introduced, you know, to a lot of people. That, you know, it's a respect thing, and they don't know my name. They didn't ask for my name, so
True.
you know.
They did ask.
Oh, really?
They asked for your name, and they said, no. You know what? I'm pro ms.wyann is what.
Yeah.
That's that ish. Shouts out to you, my love. But that's what he meant to say.
Gotcha.
And then Joe corrected him and said, yeah, you're such an advocate of her that you just called her Mr. Wyann.
Oh, that's...
And that's really how he's misspoke. And so it became a big joke. But then people were saying, hey, and to Mr. Wyann. So then they just ran with it. But
yeah.
it was a mistake originally.
Oh, man. Well, you know... Some mistakes, we call them happy accidents.
Yes.
Right? Like, which is cool. I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, Mr. Wyann, you know, which is dope. Like, I'm not one of those dudes that gets like wrapped up. Oh, they need to know. Listen, because it wasn't about me. You know what I'm saying? That was your thing. That was your moment. You know what I'm saying? And you shared about us. But it was still your moment. So I love it. You know, I mean, now I'll say this. Motherfuckers don't be out in the street calling me that. Like, it's like, you know, I'm trying to be funny. In the words of, you know, my fault. In the words of, Bro Cash, you know, these hands are rated E for everyone.
And with these hands, at Cash Don't Make Me on Instagram, little Soul Squad. No, I'm messing with you.
Oh,
no, the little, my word, the Soul Council, and Jamla president, the Soul Council representative, because he's a producer for them, and Jamla of Records president, Cash. But yes, no, and continue.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, so as long as everybody keeps it respectful, I have no issue.
Okay.
Like, it's, you know, it's endearing, and it's something, you know, you started, so I've been watching, like, I've just been amused, you know.
Yes. Yes. And I enjoy how Love Culture is having their time with this, and a lot of Love Culture is like, nah, but TJ cool. They I don't how is TJ? Is TJ okay? So Love Culture, my gems, my beauties. He's here, you know. He only shaved his face because he wanted to annoy me. That's the only reason he shaved his face. Outside of that, you know, he has like this illustrious fly ass beard. No, I'm fucking with you. No.
Wow.
Yes, I am. Yes. You're not, what did I think Kevon Stage called Common Beard. Like, he's beard attractive or something like that.
Oh,
basically,
funny.
without the beard, it's like, y'all ain't
Crazy.
checking for Common? And it's like, shouts out to Common, by the way. No, yeah. Oh, because you find all the way?
Am I?
Yeah. Damn straight shit. Don't worry, I help you grow it back. Hello. But come on back to me. No, I was about to say beard.
Good night, y'all. Yeah, I was playing. We gotta go. Peace.
I was speaking to some of the loves, and I was telling them, I said, what I love about TJ's and my relationship, we're both entertainers. Mm-hmm. You tour with the Legacy group, the brothers of Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. I tour with the sister Legacy group, The Emotions, Mom and Auntie and him. You have your budding solo career as a music artist. I have my budding solo career as a music artist. You're doing your acting thing. When I'm not doing singing, I'm doing my teaching thing, education thing. I was speaking, and the podcast, of course, yes, and the podcast, thank you. But I was saying that on the podcast, on Joe Budden's podcast, I was saying the fact that he has a lot of parity with me in the industry. And they were like, what industry? This is the industry, not just music, but the things that we do outside of the music industry. And I was speaking about how certain guys, when you look to find, because you're 8 years my junior, that was the big thing.
Surprise.
Am I a Black Panther? My students told me I'm not a cougar because I'm black. So am I a Panther?
No, you're not a Panther.
Why not?
Because, first of all, you don't look like one.
I do look like a cat.
Not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't look like no cougar or like a panther or whatever. You just look like a fly-ass black woman.
Oh, because them be the girls, yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Call me Mrs. Smith.
Like, you don't wear a slip. Like, you know, when I think about that, you know, it's like they wear a slip.
Hey, you've had some cougars.
Yeah.
Hello? Yes. So you're, wait. So you're a predator. You seek us out. You seek out these older women.
Okay. Well, first of all,
ooh,
I didn't know.
This turned into something different.
It did. It really did.
Left turn.
No, I didn't know the age difference. I knew it was slight. Like, well, in my head, I thought it was slight. And then when
you talk about in the beginning of us. Okay.
Like, I didn't, you know, and then you told me how like wide our gap was, and I thought you were lying. I was like, man, you full of shit.
You did make me show you my driver's license.
Sure did.
That shit was game though, low key.
No, it wasn't. I really didn't believe you. I'm dead serious, like, because it didn't.
So how old did I look then?
You looked about like 31, 32.
Nigga, I was 34.
I know, but when the way you said it, like, you was like,
so you only shaved 2 years off of me, huh?
Hey, man, shit, 2 years makes a difference. That shit makes a difference. Think about it.
I'm thinking about you and where you were at 30 versus, or rather 29 versus 31. Yes, there was difference.
See?
Okay. Sorry, listening audience. I'm giving the dirtiest looks to the camera right the fuck now. Yes. Okay. So, okay. All right.
But not to, please continue.
No. You got it. I'm saying that because one of the questions Sue Surf asked me was, what do I think is going on in my life such that I would need a gentleman 8 years my junior? Is that a red flag that I would date someone 8 years my junior?
Not at all.
Wait, but then we're also considering you don't represent a lot of the gentlemen your age.
That's true.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm thinking about a couple other people your age. Right. My baby brother is your same age. My baby brother runs a very successful, very lucrative probiotics juice. Not juice. I'm just saying that to get through it. It's kombucha, jun, tepache, sauerkraut, bone broth, whatever. But he does all of this healthy shit LA shit, at farmers markets, and it's a 6-figure and growing business. You know what I'm saying? And he's an entrepreneur, all out of his own pocket, all with his own stuff. He was his own funder for everything. He's not big on social media. Mind you, you're same age. He's not big on social media. He found someone who believes in what he does.
Yep.
And we just went to their engagement party not too long ago, a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that was a couple months ago now.
Yeah.
Whoa. But anyways, about half a year ago is when we went to that and everything. So someone your age can look like you and Warren, but someone your age can also look like, I'm at home, living with moms, you know, I'm still figuring out whatever I'm doing with, you know, my FedEx job plus my, you know, I'm still trying to be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
got my SoundCloud mixtape.
Man, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Posting memes about, see, that's why niggas don't, you ain't supporting me, but you gonna support the rapper you ain't never met, you know, whatever, you know. You get those folks that can make anything their excuse, even though they're your age. Yeah. But here go the problem. I know 40-year-olds still at home with their SoundCloud mixtape, talking about, see, that's the problem. Man, I don't know if this person wants me to tell that it's he, but a few people were in the studio with me this day, so few people will know who I'm talking about. However, a very, very, very successful wingman to the highest, some of the biggest stars in our game, was talking to me a couple months ago now about the fact that in their 40s, when they started building a multi-million-dollar company that works with the Meg the Stallions and a bunch of other people that, you know, matter, this person was telling me, like, it was so odd to see men in their mid-40s talking about, okay, I know you in position to put people on. You know I've been rapping. You know I've been rapping. Wait. They don't have a single out. They don't have a mixtape out. They don't have an EP out, nor do they have an album out. I'm saying at home, I've been rapping. And you've been put in a position to put us on. We all in our mid-40s. Wow. Fuck is you on? Why ain't you put... See, you let the money change you. The only reason I'm not making this picture very vivid is because I don't know that I have permission to reveal this person's identity. But I'll go back and ask. And when I get that permission, if I get that permission, I'll retell this story. And this was, notice how much we're talking right now. I didn't want to take up the few moments I had on Joe Budden's podcast with saying stuff like this. The reality is, at what age do you know that you're reaching a level of maturity that you would be ready? Is there an age that comes with being ready for love?
Yes and no.
Okay.
They tell you, my bad. They tell you, you know, your 20s are the time for you to make mistakes.
Who is they?
Society, people, you know, your community or whomever.
I was gonna say, specifically in your life, who is they?
In my life, it was like big homies, like my cousins, like OGs, like that I knew from music and like, or like the neighborhood, just like older men.
Older white men, Asian men?
No, mostly black men. But not all black men.
I was gonna say, no. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Jewish, like who else is giving you these messages?
These messages, well, in terms of like having your 20s like be your fun, like that's all across the board.
That's
I've
just
had,
what you've understood in
that's
general.
just what I've understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
No black man, Asian man, Chinese man, Japanese. Why am I picking only
I know, right?
Asian and Pacific Islanders? No Jewish man, no
Italian,
European man, this is just what you've picked up along your travels.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But there are some exceptions, because I know some men that, you know, got serious about marriage and family, like right out of high school. Some of the homies that I went to high school with had been married, like with kids and the whole nine. Others, you know, have done it in their 40s.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I think that why I say no is because it just it happens when you're ready, or when you're in the position for it to happen.
Right.
You know. So in the case of you and me, it was like I started feeling it like around like age 27 going into 28.
And I was grown, y'all.
Yeah.
I want to tell you the first thing I said after I started realizing I liked this one. What I said when I went in Wendy's room. But I'm not going to say that on this.
Oh, no.
I would do it on Patreon, but I'm not just going to say what I said. But
yo,
yeah.
you wild, and I love you for it.
I'm listening.
Oh, no. So I was just going to say, I was saying like it started around that time where it was like I noticed like a shift happening. And you know, I had that, oh man, but my 20s is like, I'm still out here, you know, type of thing, right?
Got it.
But the shift, the funny thing about change, like, it's inevitable. So you can either like resist it,
right,
or you can allow it to happen. It's still gonna happen either way, but
right.
One is a little easier, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, when it got to like age 29, 30, like I really was like, actually, yeah, like 30, because that was when I really decided, okay, I'm not about to fight this no more. Like, love is what I want. A relationship, a healthy relationship, one where we're growing, is what I want. And I just stopped fighting it. And everything just seemed to fall into place. And like the one constant, like in all of that change happening, was you. I'm serious. Like, you know what I mean? It was you. It was like, which I know, you know, for a lot of people, they probably, you know, people have their narratives or whatever they think. And, you know, on both sides, because you have some people that are like, oh, you know, you humoring your time with this young nigga and blah, 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 you know, and he must be this and that. And it's like, no. And then you have people on the other side that are like, oh, you know, it just, y'all make it look so easy. And it's like, no, that ain't it either. You know, but in our case, I think it was just two people who had willing hearts that really liked each other, loved each other, obviously, and believed in each other and the fact that this could work. Believed in themselves and believed in each other and the fact that this could work.
Yeah.
And that's how, you know, we arrived at this point. I think.
I was gonna add to what you're saying and kind of going back to when, you know, is there an age that someone is ready for love, or if they're ready for a relationship, or if they're ready for fill in the blank? I think about, okay, this is way before you. I think I was your age, 20 something. I was in my 20s. I can't remember when, but I was in my 20s. And the India Arie song was such a big thing. I am ready for love. Why are you hiding from me? Is this line. I'll I'll gladly give my freedom. I'll gladly give my freedom to be held in your captivity. I thought that was such a beautiful, it's still April, so I'm thinking about lyrics and songwriting, but poetry really.
Yeah.
When I felt so ready for a love that I would give my freedom to be in someone's captivity, I remember feeling ready for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was ready, I did relationship,
Mm-hmm.
attempted to do relationship like I did my degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten straight A's before. Wyann entering her master's program. I'm going to get straight A's to prove to myself that I could have done this the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the most strenuous of the degrees and I'm going to get all A's here. Why? Because I said so. Period. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I ended up attempting to do to relationship.
Oh, wow.
So instead of being Mrs. Right to Mr. Right, I decided to be Mrs. Right to Mr. Right now. Whoever was in front of me, because I was ready for love.
Yeah, right.
I was ready.
Yeah.
And what I think baffles or stuns a lot of us, fuck the age, what baffles a lot of us, in my opinion, as a trained therapist, and as a trained therapist, not to sun nobody or put that in nobody's face, I'm saying I've probably worked with people in relationship in a way that a lot of others haven't worked with themselves in relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen such an array from parents court mandated to be in parenting classes because they're at risk of losing their children, all the way up to millionaires' marriages that they're trying to save. Or talking to my grandparents, till death did they part. And they had a really fucking amazing, rich love. Bought this house and the house next door, could have bought the whole block. But my grandfather didn't want to deal with all the people. Came from very poor means in Arkansas. They didn't come from a lot. But look at the legacy. We're doing a podcast in their legacy. We're like literally we're filming it in their, you know, in the wake of their legacy, sort of a thing. So from my grandparents to millionaires to people literally off 92nd and Central, where the King Drew Family Center, that was where I was doing my parenting classes, skillful parenting, the court mandated one, where I had bullet holes from both sides of my double paned classroom glass. Like, I've dealt with a lot of different types of people. Couples homeless after that. Couples who were homeless. I've dealt with a lot of people. And then when you start to see certain constants, despite whether the family is homeless, despite whether they're about to lose their kids, if they're millionaires and they have everything that quote unquote people think they want, or they came from nothing in a racist Southern situation just to come out west so that they could give their family legacy. There are some patterns to these loves. Nowhere in that pattern is there, oh, this person was this age, that person was that age. It's just nowhere in the pattern. I'm not saying it doesn't exist or certain correlations can't be made. But because I'm fill in the blank age, I'm 30, so that means I should be taking life more seriously. You and Wendy told me, both of y'all at 25 had a quarter life crisis on some, I should have been further, I should have done this, I don't know how that train missed me, but I am so glad I missed that bus.
Be glad you did.
I just didn't, 25, I was like, bro, I'm doing what I can't be doing. I was in a great space, actually. Worst thing that happened that year, 2007, my grandmother passed away. Outside of that, 25 was amazing. Only saying that to say, when you want something out of this life, when you want love out of this life, you're going to have to realize that that comes when you are ready for it. And it only comes in relationship when the other person is ready for it too.
Yeah.
Trained therapist or not, 8 years your senior or not, there's no way I could have made you more ready for love than you were when you were.
Yeah.
True or false?
Absolutely true.
How did you become ready for love? Because like the whole conversation came from hiccups that we had. So how did you become ready for love? What switched in you?
I'd be lying if I said I just woke up one day and was like,
Right.
But kinda, it was the only thing that I hadn't tried. Like really surrendering like to love, right? That was the only thing I hadn't tried. I was everything under the sun
Right.
prior to that. And I always had an out because it was like, oh, well, I ain't really looking for that shit no way. So, okay, well, let's just sever the tie right now. Like, let's call it even, like no hard feelings, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Because that shit was safe. But like being ready for love also means that you have to be ready for all the shit that comes along with love. And
what did you think came along with love? Because it seems like for a lot of men, especially the young bull men who are supposed to be sowing their royal oats until I don't know when.
You said it. You said it in that NDRE lyric.
What is
captivity. Love, the narrative that gets kind of, painted for a lot of men. And I'll say black man as a black man, that's my experience.
For
right?
sure.
Like, you hear niggas say, oh, the whole ball and chain. Like, captivity, man. Like,
right.
So, I'm out here and then, now I guess I'll go ahead and settle down,
Right.
She been rocking with me all these years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
20 years we been down, whatever. And it's like, ain't nothing about that shit sound fun.
None.
I'm sorry. I just crack myself up, but it's true. Like, so you get that like constant sort of reinforcement. You like love, like that,
Suck my dick.
Yeah, what? It's true. It's true. It's really true, and I'm thankful. I'm in a place where I can look at it and be like, yeah, that's exactly what that was, right?
Yeah.
But a couple of things happened. Obviously, the stuff that we dealt with,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
Those were lessons,
right.
Because that shit that allowed me to see like, oh no, this is what love really looks like. Right. Love can look like a number of things. Obviously, passion, sexual attraction, right?
I think that's the side a lot of gentlemen are sold on in love. We talked about in episode 41, the last time you were on the pod, actually, we talked about Robert Sternberg's love triangle that consists of like or intimacy, eros love, like passion over here, and then commitment. Those are like the three corners of the love triangle. And the like or attraction plus the sexual or the passionate side of love. And mind you, when he was talking about passion, he didn't only mean sex. It's just what we end up going straight to. You know what I'm saying? So in that side of the triangle, or those two corners at large, get so much emphasis. But then this third side, commitment, it just seems like it gets tossed to the side. And it becomes a weird topic. I'm trying not to make this podcast way too long, but because I'm in my head with this, so it's like it's starting to become a Love Tuesdays. That's like 3 hours every week. But freaking that commitment side isn't just an issue about relationship. You think about a bunch of boys, a bunch of guys with their boys, they're committed to their homies in a way that they feel like I'll never commit like that to a woman. Which is weird a little bit.
Yeah.
It has its homoerotic
I didn't want to say it,
ideations
but I'm glad you did.
there. Not trying to say nothing like that. But also the other side of that, where I learned, kind of taking it away from what we were just talking about these last couple of minutes, where I learned to be free in captivity is watching you sing.
Wow.
Watching you sing, watching Marvin Gaye sing. When you decide on we live in LA. We come from LA. So we see a lot of people at like R&B nights and things like that who think that they're going to help Michael Jackson's melodies by adding, whoa, can't help it if I wanted it to, whoa. And it's like, nigga, if you don't sing that motherfucking song, like Mike didn't need your help, bro. That hit does not need your arrogant help.
Does not. Where
you insert yourself, and being transparent for my own creative development, where I noticed I would do things like that within my music choices, would be when I didn't trust the melody. Rather, I didn't trust my knowledge of the melody.
Yeah.
So if I can't remember, looking in the mirror, I can't help. Imagine I couldn't hear that change.
Right.
By surprise, I can't help love you. And then start going, and it's like, no.
Right.
You have freedom in the captivity of the fucking hit,
right,
platinum hit melody that already exists right there in the song. Imagine you and your actor in your actor bag. Yeah, I know what's on the page, but I feel like this character would have said, so I'ma just say,
start rewriting the script and shit. Yeah.
How many gigs do you stay on?
Man, not very many.
Period.
Very
so
many.
When I think of love, and I think of the concept of love, being glad to give my freedom to be held in that captivity, like the lyrics of that song, what that looks like and means for me is finding the Marvin Gaye performance in the confines of a melody that's already been constructed for me.
Sure.
Because the difference between him and today regular R&B singers that try to come to LA and, the forever background singer that finally gets to be in the front, so they verbally and vocally jack off over all the audience. Hey, I'm coming on you, sort of a thing, and then call it Can't Help It. No. One of the things that I've learned just from watching you and or watching Marvin Gaye is that when you all sing, there's such a death to you in the moment. You've surrendered to the melody. You surrendered to the capability of your voice that night, whatever that looks like. You had a show in Denver some months ago, and the air quality. Remember? We were talking about that. The air is different up there.
Yeah, Aspen.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Aspen.
No,
but when you go up there,
yeah,
your vocal ability has a different captivity.
Yeah.
So you don't try to run through it. You surrender to it.
Yeah.
And you live as present as possible in that moment with that melody. Just personally, I think that's what beautiful love looks like. I think that's what real love looks like. I think that's what our love ends up looking like. I feel like I definitely cut you off of a story. Sorry.
It's all right. No, you just the passion is just
bad.
there. No, it's okay.
No, we was talking about that though.
Yeah.
When you say where you learned that from, and like you said, there's a liking and a passion that you're taught to like more, but the commitment side kind of gets put to the side.
It definitely does, because again, like the commitment side often looks like slavery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way it's kind of treated.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to like shit on anybody's thing. I'll just say that didn't work for me.
Understood.
That didn't work for this. And like kind of learning more about love and how love works and what it looks like and how it really is what we say it is. Like there are certain things that, you know, there are certain principles of love that are just there. You know, love is patient, love is kind, right?
Yeah.
But then
no score of wrongdoing.
Right. Yeah. You know, but also like we create what our love can look like. So,
True.
You know, just kind of in growing and like really maturing, I started to look at our love as freedom. You know, rather than captivity. Ask me why.
Why?
Because I found that I could be myself with you. You know, things that like conversations that we've had, like fuck it. I'll use an example.
Okay.
Like
okay, I'm trying to keep it as however you want, whatever you're comfortable with.
This is a real example. You were asking me just recently about women from my past.
Sure.
And I was nervous as fuck, like talking about it.
Where?
Why? Yeah, I was, because you don't. Because in a person's head, I won't speak for everybody, but I'm saying some people's head, it's like, oh shit, you know, you once you done with a situation, you want to like leave it alone, you know.
Comparing our pussies?
Damn, I think you would.
I was just asking.
Hey, you can't put that in this. That was the conversation. But
okay.
We can't put that in there. But no, but
it's gonna be in there.
But no, you know,
I'm just
you
curious.
asked me. Well, I know,
Curious.
and that's the thing. Like you're just had a genuine curiosity, and in other, I'll say in other situations, right, where it might not be you.
Yeah.
A woman asking her man about that, and the man is like, you know,
right.
He's so uncomfortable because you don't like. It's just uncomfortable. Like okay. I don't know how to describe it, but
because you think I would like if you say something, I'll be like, oh nigga, what?
Yeah, because it's always that.
And then
possibility.
It switches on you.
Yeah, it's always that possibility, and that shit can come back to bite you in the ass. Like
okay,
but
have we had that? Have we had any of those?
No. We haven't, like, not seriously, like, you know, you joke or whatever, like, it's been a while, but, like, we both have been guilty of that, like, so I'm not just putting it on you, but what I'm saying is, I took that moment, and you were like, babe, are you nervous? Or, like, does that make you nervous? And I was like, hell yeah, and I say, like, even in that moment, the freedom that I felt to be able to say, hell yeah, that shit makes me nervous. And not be judged.
Right.
That shit was freedom.
Now, do you think one of the reasons a lot of men wouldn't have that conversation or be in relationship like we are is because a lot of the ladies might ask for a truth, saying they can handle a truth, then turn around and provide you judgment for the thing they just told you could come to them about, you could talk to them about.
Absolutely, because some
ladies, y'all gotta stop that shit. Dead ass.
Well, and you know, a lot
like
of
you
ladies,
can handle it or you can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Continue.
No. I was just gonna say, you know, like, well, some of them do it. Some of them do it because, you know, whatever, their hang up. But then some of them really do it because they view, in the way that a man views love or a relationship as captivity, right? Women that do that kind of stuff and know what they doing because they want to do that, it's like they're using it
manipulative.
Yeah, like, you know, it's a manipulation thing. And so
Bro, you know how niggas say game recognize game, or if you could spot it, you got it.
Yeah.
I'm discovering why men behave that way because it's so far from how I think. So I'm genuinely asking you questions. We've been together going on 6 years, and I'm asking you these questions like, wait, you're nervous? Really? Like I'm it's how you be doing me when I'm singing or something like that, and you be like, babe, are you really shy? Are you nervous? And I'm like, fuck yes. He's my vocal coach, by the way. And so sometimes being in a position where your man is the one, being your instructor sort of a thing, being an educator and having that sort of relationship, mentor, mentee, educator, student sort of a thing, that's a sensitive space. Like, it's a vulnerable space. Absolutely. Any new learning experience renders you childlike.
Yeah. Because
children are learning the world. They don't know shit. So they're learning the world. Everything is like, how was I supposed to know if I put my hand in that fire, it would fall off? You know what I'm saying? The kids, and so there's a certain vulnerability that I have being your student in the world of being vocal trained, and where I'm, I've been singing for my whole life, but I can still get like hang-ups, you know what I'm saying? And I'm used to being, everyone's rock or a pillar and helping everybody. So when I need the help, that's where I now have, you know what I'm saying? The hang up. So I could, I would feel a way if let's say we're in the car one day just singing, and then you'd be like, see, that's that flash shit you do. And it's like, I will never, I don't even want to sing around you. Or what are you talking about? But that goes to the woman who would say, you can be honest with me. He tells you a truth. Then 2 weeks later, when you're feeling snarky in a sarcastic fit, you say, oh, you mean like that one bitch, da-da-da-da-da? And it's like, I didn't tell you that for you to do that to me. So, okay, got you. Now, look, funky dog-headed bitch. No. That's what he. No. It's not. I'm putting words in my voice. But no. It's like you didn't ask for that.
No.
That's not why you were attempting to be open and vulnerable.
Not at all.
Kind of like our boy Ricky in the beginning of the pod. You be open and vulnerable to someone, then they misuse that privilege of being allowed into someone's vulnerable space, and then as a result, why can't I? I'm done. Just can't let it go. I gave my heart, opened my heart. She broke it. I won't feel that no more. Oh, I got memories. So, well, what's that second verse?
This is crazy. I don't know.
I can't think of the first words. The fussing and fighting, we back at it again. That's the first verse. But the second verse, he's saying, I gave my heart. She tore it up. That's not the words, but it's something like that. I won't feel that no more. He said, not that I won't do that no more.
I won't feel
that. I won't feel that no more. Trust and believe. I'll still give my heart, but it's going to have a chain link fence around it and you won't even know it.
Yeah.
I'll give my heart, but it'll never be the same because I've been hurt. Yeah. And it's like, that's not it though. That's not the answer either though.
It isn't. And it took to bring it back to us.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it took me having to learn that about you. You know what I'm saying? And shit, it taught me a lot about myself. It was like, yo, bro, like, you can't judge her off of some shit that some other girl did however many years ago. Like, cause she's a totally different woman. Like, they not even the same person. They don't even look alike. Like,
Right.
And so, having the willingness, I keep saying that word, willingness.
Willing.
Like, because you got to be willing. And I think at some point, you just get that willingness. Like, I don't know what age it happens. Like, for me, it happened when it did.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful because, like I say, I don't look at love with you as captivity.
Right.
Shit is freedom. And it's dope. And you know, a lot of motherfuckers look at me and be like, man, this nigga crazy or whatever. And it's like, well, so what? Like, nigga, I'm happy.
You know what's so funny? They'll say you're crazy until that dude spends time around me. Because you know, because I'm very honest with you, you know most of the conversation in this industry start with, in some way, either covert or overt, I'm not fucking you.
Yeah.
I didn't come into the music industry to find my husband.
Yeah.
I or to get fucked on by you. Thank you. You know, very much. It's you know, no thank you. So it starts there because everything is sexual, visual, you know what I'm saying? It's just a physical attraction in the beginning. But then as some of these same gentlemen learn me and learn my heart and learn how I show up for my homeboys especially, just because black men have a very soft spot in my heart. I've had dudes 100% be like, bro, you sure you don't want me to take you off the market? I'm like, I'm lightweight off the market now. You know what I'm saying? You know, niggas like, no, like, do you need a ring? Like, what do you need, bro? I'm like, no, I'm chilling. I'm doing me. Mr. Wyann is fine.
She's off the market.
Notice there's rings on both fingers. Yeah. Yellow.
Oh.
But, no. Yeah. I will. But camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. No, I'm only saying I'm only saying that because guys kind of relish in that, you know, never trust no bitch. You know what I'm saying? They kind of relish in that space, and it's almost like I'm not gonna trust anyone but my mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in those types of environments, if you tell yourself, I'm only going to trust one woman in the world, and that's my mom. If that's what you subscribe to, any limitations that you fight for, you can own.
True that.
They're yours. So as a person who taught math for the better part of a decade, almost 10 years, 8 years, teaching math to students, right? Mm-hmm. Adult learners, by the way. Everybody over the age of 18. Most everyone over the age of 18, right? Because it was adult school. Mm-hmm. When I had students that said, Miss Y, this shit is dumb. I'm never going to get this. I'm like, all right, we'll pack your bag up. Mm-hmm. Bro, I'm becoming at the time I was in grad school, I'm like, I'm becoming a therapist, and the first thing they teach us is our degrees don't come with magic wands. If you're defeated, if you're done, if you say fuck the world, then it's fuck the world. Yeah. And if that's what you want, don't be surprised when the world says, nigga, fuck you too. Because why should the world be kinder with you than you are with it? What nigga Alan Watts said, everything in your life is a perfect circle of all that you're doing and all that's happening to you. Yeah. On some physics, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So everything that's you're doing is also everything that's happening to you. You want something to change in your life? Start here. You got to change it up here in your head. You got to change it in your thoughts. And then free your mind and the rest will follow. Shouts out to Invoke. Yeah. You have to start in your head, and then you have to find a new script. Yeah. Your head can't say, you know what? Okay, I'm ready for love. And then your script says, but bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. No. Right. Speak on that.
I was just gonna say, no, you absolutely right, because shit, half of the hardship that it took to get here came by way of that. Because in my head it was like, man, I'm ready. Like, damn, this girl is just, and then out of my mouth I'm like, whew, but I don't know though. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Honest to God, like, and there are people who can corroborate this story, because I would have those conversations with them, and it was like this constant battle. Like, it was this constant,
in therapy, we call that ambivalence.
Oh.
Ambivalence. In your ambivalence, you'll take 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back. Yeah. You know, you're speaking about in your head, man, this relationship is really a great look for me. And I see a lot of what I've desired since I was a kid on the other side of this relationship.
Yeah.
Dot, dot, dot. But a nigga out here,
Man.
and she's great for like 80% of the things that I love.
Yeah.
Whoo, but the other 20% got these other 4 bitches, and one of them licked my balls just the way I like. This other one, you know, she's amazing, but you know, Wyann is amazing, but she don't cook peach cobbler like girl 3. You understand? And then girl 4, oh shit, man, girl 4 keep me laced. She got money, she got this and that, but girl 5, you know, girl 5 squirt. You hear me? And this is like, come on, the fuck, like you think I get it. That's 80%, and 80% is amazing.
Right.
But here go what Wyann is contending with. Girl 2 through 5. And this is what all they coming with. Bro, I get it. I'm not saying that, okay, sorry, I don't squirt all the time. Hello? Anyways, I don't do that all the time. And my peach cobbler, no, I don't cook it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't this and I don't that. His face has never recovered. If you're not watching, if you're listening, TJ has been broken by way of the face. Thank you very much. But he didn't know I would be this candid tonight on this podcast. But the big thing is, look at your face. No. And I hope you guys hear, I'm also attempting to break the fourth wall, and I'm showing you a page in our everyday book. We laugh this much, probably more. We're trying to tame it so that we can talk with y'all. But we laugh this much. We're this intellectual.
Yes, we are.
We're this intellectual. We're this supportive of one another, encouraging. Man, I don't want to give away this song lyric, but there's a new song I'm working on that my girl Amber from Moonchild wrote, and Andre Mego is corroborating this whole thing. But she wrote a line that was her way of saying, "Bro, I'll gladly give my freedom to be held in your captivity." She said it in her way, and the way she says it, I'm like, you have to let me do a poem at the end of that. And Mego is like, oh, you thought I wouldn't? Like, Andre Mego, for those who don't know, is the one that produced the final song on my album. But
Appreciation.
Yeah, Appreciation.
Yeah.
My boy, man. It's my whole nigga right there. He's not even nigga. But anyways, but no, here's the big vibe. We're giving you a slice of what happens in our everyday. This is us. One of the things I said on the podcast was, I said, oh, he's free to roam. He's 100% free to roam. They said, no, he's not free to roam if you know, y'all couldn't finish Tetris. Y'all couldn't even finish tic-tac-toe on the phone. Of course, it was hilarious, but it was all for, you know, entertainment. But no, I think one of the things that you and I learned with one of the last hiccups, I call them, back in 2020 was, okay, hun, if that's what you think you want, I will gladly stop distracting you from what you think is freedom.
Right.
I know I'm positive. I know I'm positive energy. I know I'm great vibes. I know I'm nothing but good to anybody I encounter, because it's what I meditate on being this. You know, it's not that I just woke up like this. No, I work to be like this. You look at the regular everyday humans in life, and it's enough motivation to say, fuck humans. I don't want to know any of you. I'll just stay in my little bubble with the few 3-6 people that I really enjoy. I'll get another dog. You know what I mean? I can just be like this bright light with never showing people. It's safe. It's easy. It's a comfort zone where I'll never grow. All right? That's my option. Conversely, what my actual life is, though, I open that up and I have this amazing energy that I love sharing. So when in the time of our resistance and confusion, when it looked, it's true. So and in that time when I didn't feel like my positivity and my support and my brilliance was being seen, I said, maybe my light is the distraction right now. Let me remove it. And you got to have some time with me completely hands off So when I say you're free to roam, if it's what you want, you got it, boo. Did that feel like freedom?
It did not. And the cold game was, like you said, I had every opportunity to pursue whatever and whomever.
Peach cobbler girl, squirting girl, all those girls.
And you know what I did?
He got with the squirting girl only. He didn't tell me. She texted me.
Oh my God,
she
man.
DM'd me. Bitch. No, I'm messing with you. Continue.
Oh, I know you messing with me. Nah, you know what I did? Well, the first however many days I was just fucked up. I was crying and couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I'm going out my mind, right? You know what I mean? That shit was real.
Well, and not so shameless plug. One of the reasons why I was telling the masterminds, shouts out to Urban Counselor and Minton Okada. One of the reasons why I knew I was okay exercising this question to the Joe Budden Podcast was because your album is an entire chronological timeline of the progress of our relationship.
Yep.
And for people who were there in the Love Lounge during your listening party, when we got to Come On Back to Me, Girl, one of the songs that everybody has been asking me about, because I played it on at the day that Joe called me, that was a Tuesday.
Wow.
That Love Tuesdays, I played Come On Back as the theme song for everybody coming into the Love Lounge. And many people, like over 20, asked me, yo, what is that? Tony Baker. Shouts out to our boy Tony Baker. Does all the voiceover videos. Cram. I was going to wear that shirt for April. Don't worry. His birthday is next month. I'll wear it for next month. That's how I'll do that. But my Cram shirt for Tony Baker comedy. But everyone was asking what that song was. The Come On Back to Me song on your album was the only song I didn't even know of until it came out because we weren't on speaking terms.
No, well,
when you recorded it,
when you recorded it, yeah, and that because it was like that song probably was the most. I mean, all of them were personal,
yeah,
but that one just emotionally, like even my producer, like he was dealing with some stuff like with his girl. So when we got together, we just sat and talked and was like, man, what you going through? Oh, okay. Oh, well, this is what I'm going through.
Right.
Damn, this shit is sad, you know? And it was so wild because like during that time where I had freedom, you know, I was free to roam. I didn't do none of that.
Right.
You know, it was, okay, what's going on? Like I was in the fog for like the longest, and then, you know, talking to one of my bros. Can I say his name on?
Do you think it would be okay?
Nah, he'd be like, why would you do that?
Yeah. I was gonna say
no. But one of my bros,
I try to keep everybody's anonymity. I got one of the reasons I'm so coveted in the music industry, especially on the West. I tell people I know where all the bodies are buried, and I don't speak on people specifically unless I know I have blessing to mention their name, and I know that my OGs respect the fact that I can use the stories that they've taught and told me to help other people who might be going through things similar. But at the same time, I'm not no fucking snitch.
Right. And so, with that being said, I'm not gonna say nobody's name, but what I'll say is one of my bros was really close to me. We talked. Right. Actually, two of them.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't know who you were talking about at first.
Yeah,
okay,
it was
now
two of them. And they were like, look, man, you got a real choice to make. Yeah. Like, because I know you love her. She loves you. So you got to figure out what it is you need to do for you. And what that was for me was refocusing on, like you said, like your light was a distraction because I couldn't see you because the light, I was like, and you know, when a person is not shining as bright, you know what I'm saying, or
when
matching,
you don't recognize
when you don't when you don't recognize it, of course it looks like a distraction. So it was like, well, shit, I gotta find my light because I don't know where it's at right now, and I don't feel like I'm real dim. You know what I'm saying?
And that made you confront some feelings and thoughts that you probably the other women were probably very welcome distractions,
of course,
from ever having to deal with that thought right there.
Of course, and I couldn't run from it no more. That's why there was no pursuit, because it was like I did it right. Like I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've masked my pain, I've masked my shame with just going out and finding another woman, you know, or two or three, or well, you know, whatever the case was, right? So it's like, okay, well, what's the next step?
Right.
Like, what's, again, like our relationship, what's the thing you haven't tried?
Right.
Do that. Like, because everything else ain't, you know. So, you know, it was a real, I guess, reckoning, if you will, within myself. And like I say, even in that time, you were still the constant. And it was like, we would talk here and there, and it was like, you know, here's what, you know. And
at that point, I was being brutally honest.
Man.
I'm an honest person already, but I think you can be honest without being harmful. You know, that I think that, but at that point, we wasn't shit. So I was like, bro, I ain't gotta protect you from nothing. So here it is. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and guess what? You would always keep texting back. You would always keep coming back. And I'm like, bro, are you a glutton for this? Like, what is this?
Just, you were the constant. I couldn't, everything that I was learning was like, at that time, it was like, hey, it's going to be uncomfortable,
right? But
stay. Like, take it like a man. You know what I'm saying? Don't run, don't cower. She's going to be upset with you. And she has a right to be. Like, so because you was man enough to do everything else, be man enough to take this. And if you're still left standing after the barrage of bullets, and you know what I'm saying? And that's what my bros had said. They was like, look, man, like, if it's meant, like, after all of this, you know, after, like, and you still standing,
yeah,
then one of them especially, he was like, nigga, that's your wife. He did. He said it. He was like, bro, I'm just gonna be honest with you.
If that's what I'm thinking of. They're definitely like a pastor.
Oh, for real? No, straight up, a pastor.
Nigga, that's your wife.
Nigga, that's your wife, nigga.
Wait. At this point, we're gonna just insert the www, because we're going straight into the Wyann's words of wisdom, because what you're saying is kind of touching on the idea of cool.
Oh.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. In a very good way. So, Dave, y'all can... Wyann's words of wisdom happens now, but with TJ.
Oh, shit.
No. I'm saying that because imagine this. Going off pastors being real, at one of my Bible studies, fellowships, years ago, I have a pastor who is unconventional, maybe, in the fact that he likes to take the scripture and back it up with secular data as well. Like sociological data that shows what this trend looks like in today, as opposed to keeping it at thee, thy, thou. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I like that.
No, it's trust me, if it wasn't so far, I'd probably go more. But love you, Pastor E. However, one day he came in and we talked about certain emotions. And as we're fine-tuning emotions on Raise It Up Why this entire year, the idea of being cool came up. And he said, man, cool is so dangerous because it's an emotional straitjacket. When you're so cool, no, I'm cool. You know what cool just masks in that possible instance? Cool just masked, I actually feel jealous of this person next to me. I feel jealous of my mate. How you're shining and I'm not. I feel shame about something that's happened to me, and I don't see it as guilt, where that's bad. I see it as shame, which means I'm bad. I'm truly going through a depression right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you, nah, nigga, I'm cool. Right?
Yeah.
Being under that emotional stress, you see certain stars, certain celebrities who wear sunglasses in a club at night in Antarctica. Huh? But everywhere they go, there's this defense. And cool is the emotional version of that defense mechanism, where you get to seem okay in front of all the people who want to help you, but you deny them the ability to even offer some type of help, because I'm too cool to be cool. My dad came up with that. When we were kids, he had a thing, I'm too cool to be cool. Dun, 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 dun. I learned that when I learned about all gone. You know that.
Oh.
That's Wyann at 11 months. You know, when you get done with your water, you all gone, Wyann? You all gone? All gone. All gone.
Man.
For two people who don't want to have kids, he's obsessed with me as a kid, and I'm obsessed with him as a kid. But hilarious. But no, when you think about that vibration of cool, it really I'm really pushing this towards my gentlemen folks right now, and I'm doing that because I think as ladies we have our own different types of hangups, and I've spent a lot of time on some of those in my last episode, by it being Women's History Month. In this episode though, I'll say for my gentlemen, the cool straitjacket that you keep on yourself poses more harm to you than does it mean you good. I'm saying that with love, genuine love in my heart. I'm saying that as a trained professional for mental health. And I'm saying that as a people person, as a person who's been around a lot of people and a lot of different types of people, different ethnicities, different socioeconomic strata, different this, different that, all these different things. I'm letting you know the cool vibe is a dangerous one, because being so cool will prevent you from taking certain necessary risks that are needed to break out of your current mundane loop, your life loop. COVID broke the world out of its cool streak.
Yes.
The whole world was talking about how cool it was. We cool, yeah, we cool. Yeah, we don't mind. We can keep calling the Washington Redskins. We cool with that. We can keep ignoring the rights of certain folks in this country. Yeah, we cool with that. We can keep not seeing certain lives matter. Yeah, we cool with that. Oh, how cool. Let's see. Strip you of your ability to maintain a cool by putting you in a whole and completely new world order, new environment. Now your equilibrium is off. Every system anybody is in, including your body's system of its personal temperature inside, including the climate of wherever you live at in the world, including anything. Every system craves equilibrium, that equal balanced ground. It craves it. When you toss your system off of that equilibrium, it scrambles to create a new one. One of the other things that I like that you showed one of your last posts is your health journey. And I made sure to comment a very collegiate, appropriate, you showed your body when it was a different shape and size, and you showed it at this more fit and toned shape size now. And I, with the conviction of a Pulitzer Prize winner, I think I went on your comments and said, and I licked all that body, all ways, up, down, all around, in between. And then I was like, oh, But I mean, yeah, you did good. Great. Thanks for being good to yourself, babe. You know, something like that or whatever. I like to say that to this guy right here, though. I say that to this guy right here because I know what it takes for him to show up anywhere without his shirt on. And you took that picture with the two pictures, you know, side by side with no shirt on. And we've had different talks where it's like, I don't like this about I don't like that. I feel self-conscious about this. I'm this and that. So there's a certain courage I know it took you to even create that post. I also know that in years past, you've done similar types of posts from a space of looking for and seeking attention. Not just any attention either. Attention from girl 2 through 5.
Yes.
Hey, MFT, you'll never be an MSW. How about that? Just a little mess. Just a little mess. Just a little mess.
Shots fired.
Just a little mess. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. But the reality is, because I have a very long memory and a very accurate one as well, remembering your spaces of vulnerability and the places that were shadows for you in the past that when you thought of them, you would cower and hide in those moments. As you're growing in your manhood, and I see your successful attempts, I was going to say your attempts, no, your successful attempts at stepping out and being more of you, more openly, I have to let it be known, you were beautiful back then, you are beautiful now, and you can get the 12-pack, 18-pack, or the whatever, you know what I'm saying, in 2 years from now or whatever, and it's all going to go down just the same with me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's the type of buyer love, talking about those 3-quart fold poems, that's the type of buyer love that a man can only get from a woman who's if not comfortable with herself, she's on the vibration, she's on the road, she's on that highway to get more in touch with her self-worth. I'm that chick. I was bomb when I was 28. I'm bomber at 40.
Yes.
Because it's a vibration that's been practiced for years now. It was cool when it was wavery or whatever. But right now, think about when we was doing that one song, the you know what I'm saying? And when I'm first doing it for you, it was like, well, I came into this knowing how to sing. I could sing. But after you got my voice into a certain space, I was doing the bridge out. You know what I'm saying? That's why I am at 40. You know what I'm saying? It's a trek that I wake up and agree to do every single day. There are times when what I'm going through inside doesn't match how I look outside. That's why we've had talks on Love Tuesdays about not getting so familiar with celebrities to be as naive and myopic with yourselves, you, the viewing public, the listening public, to start passing judgments on people, one, you've never met, two, with real families and real family issues and feelings, and three, folks who've made a living off of giving y'all something to fucking talk about. It's really, really interesting to see who y'all, the viewing public, the average consumer, the non-creative, the 9-to-5er, what I call them, the day walker and the dream killer. It's so convenient to see what y'all give yourselves permission to speak on when it comes to people who are walking in spaces of vulnerability, sometimes by choice and sometimes forced. But the reality is, to be an effective creator, like you had to learn in your class of acting earlier today, you have to learn to shed that cool.
Yeah.
You don't paint with the same colors or from the same ink wells in your action when you're too cool. For my dancers out there who, I mean, I could probably get loose enough to do a backflip, but I don't need all that. I can kill him with my chicken step, my two step. You understand? No. Surrender yourself to the moment. Surrender yourself to what you feel in the moment. Realize that your feelings are valid. I'm not saying that you should say everything you're thinking because of how you feel, or act every way you desire just because of how you feel. If that was the case, I know a lot of folks that get slapped on a daily basis. Yellow. But doing yourself good, meaning being good to and for yourself first, and then other people, a part of that starts with you accepting what vulnerability looks like within yourself. To see what that vulnerability is, I don't know, you have to love past cool. You have to get past cool to some extent. And with you, when you're talking about that time when we weren't speaking, when you recorded Come On Back, in that time, the reason that song is a lot of people's favorite song on your album, that didn't catch me, by the way, but that particularly, no, some people, I know a lot of favorites, actually. I have several of the loves in my head. But Come On Back in particular, your performance on it was very authentic because it was the only place you could be. It wasn't like Come On Back and then you called me after to say, babe, I just recorded the fucking best. No, when you got done living in that song, you went home to your empty room. Empty even if another female was in it. There's a huge gap and a pause in there for all you listeners because I said that and his face got different. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have it because
the second verse.
I know what you're talking about. I keep telling you that
even though someone's in my bed, I almost crashed on Florence coming home. I said, wait, hold up. I was on the 110 South, boom. I can't lie about this. They had the freeway blocked off so I couldn't see Manchester. I'm listening to his album in the car blasting it like, oh, my baby just came out. Fuck you, niggas. Yeah. Niggas said, how long? Even though I got another booty in my bed. I said, wait, hold up now, huh? How is that? I'm like, wait, hold on. I sped past fucking Broadway. I didn't realize I got to Central quickly. I was like, how did I? Wait, what? I ran that shit back. I said,
I have a confession to make. You want to know who was in my bed?
Fuck you.
That's it.
Palmetto?
Man.
You said that wasn't even going down like that.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. No, it was, I'm telling you, that time really was a fog because none of the like coping mechanisms that I had or that I was used to worked. It didn't, either they didn't work or I didn't have the desire. And literally the only choice I was left with was do what you haven't done. Confront your shit. Mm-hmm. You know, reach out once you've figured out what it is you're trying to do. Right? Reach out to her. I received what I got back, and it was like, fuck, okay. Like as brutally honest as it was. Brutal. But I was right there. And it was like something was just like, stay there. And it was, I guess it was, you know, putting the pride and the ego and all of that shit aside. And I guess surrendering to, you know, love and what I was really feeling. And in that time of really seemed like being more introspective and digging deeper into myself, I tell you this all the time. The more I did that, the more I saw you. and I just had to roll with it.
Because you were able to see you
Absolutely.
for some of the first time. That's why I had to reframe what you said a moment ago when you said your light was distracting when I was so dim. I said, or when you hadn't yet learned how to see
Right.
your own light, because I'm not here for charity.
No.
Right? I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm not here for charity.
I learned that too.
Well, right. And I think you're also used to a certain caliber of woman who I want to be saved. Like you're used to finding women who need saving. And when you had a woman who just desired you fully,
I don't know what the fuck to do.
well, and your words, not mine, you know. So I'll take out this Wyann's words of wisdom segment with a sentiment I shared with that's that ish at the end of that episode. And he and I had some further discussion, and one of the things I said to him was, "Bro, you want to know one of the dopest things about my dude and me? We could talk about age difference, height difference. We can talk about life difference. You know what I'm saying? Because all the similarities, you have a degree, I have a degree. You tour with Legacy, I tour with Legacy. You sing with authentic beauty and you give yourself to the moment. I think not only do I sing, I write that way. And I teach and I mentor that same way too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of beauty there with your parents and Legacy in the gospel world, like I have in the secular world, soul world. But beyond all those things, because all those things could be there, we get along. That seems so simple that maybe it, to a lot of people, gets overlooked. But when I say we get along, we are compatible. Certain things that you do in your not so beautiful moments mesh with the way I deal with not so beautiful moments. We didn't ask for that. That's just kind of what ended up happening. The types of comedians you think are funny are the types of comedians I think are funny for the most part. I'm shooting you bail, okay? This nigga is, never mind. I'm not even gonna do that. Anyways, but where he bends, I curve, and vice versa. Compatibility like that is not by worthy. It is not by capable. You know what I'm saying? When I say by, I'm talking about BUY. Like, it isn't for purchase. You can purchase a whole fucking body and you can't purchase compatibility. You just can't. It's something that either you have or you don't. It's why some people who can sing their ass off, you be like, why aren't they further? Why didn't they? And you like, boy, there's some intangibles to this music industry. Like, nigga, do I want to employ you? Do I want to work with you? Do I want to take you on tour and be stuck with you for the next 6 weeks? Imagine, you know what I'm saying? Some people are just dodos as humans. And I don't care your talent level, you're a fucking drag to be around. So no, you don't get picked up for the tours, even though you have the talent to be on these tours. No, you don't. You understand? In the same way, talking to that ish, my biggest piece about where TJ and I are hugely compatible was just the fact that we get along. And while that sounds simple, you go out and keep dating and just try it. I'm not saying you can't get somebody in your bed tonight. I'm not saying you can't get that girl to move in with you. I'm not saying you can't make a family with some girl. I'm not saying you can't get him to buy you things. I'm saying, are you compatible to the point where you desire being around a motherfucker? You just care to be around them. Like, when I'm done at the gym and when I'm done working, when I'm done saving the world, I want to call this weirdo and laugh about something that happened in hour 4 and 8 of my day. Like, because I know he's gonna get the jokes. I don't even have to say them fully. The other day when we left when I made up that story about
Oh, you asshole.
the post office guy. Hey, yo. I can't stand creatives. I can't stand us. I promise. I laughed so hard. I brought myself to my, yes, I know. I brought myself to my fucking knees. We was like, I literally
You fell out.
was on hands and knees in the street because I couldn't hold the laughter. Oh my gosh. No, this is what this is. And there are some people who are married to very beautiful looking folks. They don't got what I got. I think that's, yeah, for sure.
Vice versa.
Oh, the man said what he said. The man said what he said. You have to dance with me, right? Yeah. Because that will conclude our words of wisdom. But before we go. Yo, shouts out always. You can't tell now. Boomer, does my hair look red in these lights? Damn. So you can't tell right now, but at Hair by Quista, HAIRBYQUISTA, his cousin by default. Yeah, she colored my hair red for my birthday. And now y'all can't see it because I was scared, okay? She wanted to go redder than this, and I got scared. So this is what y'all stuck with. But I was Poison Ivy for my birthday, the fuck, okay? Y'all can go look at my birthday reel. I'm gonna leave it up for y'all. Understand me? But shouts out to her as well as at ILOVETHEDOUX at I Love the Do, my cousin Maya Smith, and her wonderful hair care products. The B-Girl line is what I've been using in particular to keep a little shine on here. She has a honey mist, and that's what I put on here. Very little goes a very long way. But yeah, that's been like my favorite go-to things right now. My baby sister-in-law at Aurora Ann Art. How you spell Aurora? AURORAANNEART. I wish we could call her the AAA, but no. Aurora Ann Art made me these earrings for my birthday. I'm very happy about them. And I got a shout out at Wake Me When I'm Free, spelled all together. The folks there were so dope. This is just one of the rows that grew from concrete tea. I think that's what they call it on the thing too. Mm-hmm. The rose that grew from concrete tea. On the back of this shirt is the handwritten version of Pac's poem, April being the poetry month. It looks like that. It looks like that for everybody listening. This does nothing for you. I'm holding up the book of Pac's where it has one page with his handwriting and another page with his poem typed up. I'm going to toss it over to my poetry books and shout them out at, no, there is no at. It's me. I did this. Right Out is my second book, 2018 released book, and 13, which mostly is only available via ebook. But you could purchase it on my website. Go to my website. Sorry about that. I'm shaking it. Go to my website, wyannvaughan.com. WYANNVAUGHN.com, and you'll be able not only to possibly become a Love Culture patron, you'll also be able to see where you can order my books, or you can order my debut album, Been in it a minute. Yes. TJ's album, you can find on his page at I am TJ Wilkins. If you're looking TJ up in any of the databases, make sure that you put T.J. Wilkins, Wilkins. We do Love Tuesdays every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Some will call the Best Coast. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we do in there is the action piece to this podcast. We talk about topics brought up right here on the podcast, and we further the discussion with Love Culture, aka the Loves, aka all of the folks that support this podcast and all other things Wyann Vaughn. Sundays. We didn't do it last Sunday because it was Easter. But Sundays, 3 or 6 p.m., depending on how I feel, 3 or 6 p.m. on the West Coast on Clubhouse, under the club that is with the same name as this podcast, Raise It Up Y, RAISEITUPWY, with Rockets Up, of course. I want to say I got all... on Monday, the 25th of April, would have been Shoka's 12th birthday. So you'll see a nice post of my doggy before this episode airs. So I'll make sure to leave it up so you guys can go back and wish Shoka a happy birthday if you so choose. She was the best dog on earth, and now she's the best dog in the universe. So there that goes. You guys, I thank you. I know this episode was probably longer than my usual episodes, but I just wanted to make sure to squeeze as much love and fun into this. For the Love Culture Patreon folks, you have an exclusive Patreon episode featuring my homeboy, Ninth Wonder, who was turning up with me for my birthday. And I snagged him for a couple minutes to have a good talk. So I hope you guys look at the website and touch on the Patreon link so that you can become a Love Culture patron. We would love to have you. Thank you for everybody who's loving and listening. And as always, stay real, y'all. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Boom, kaboom, bow, bow, bow. Hey, bow, bow. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it, hey, raise it up, hey, raise it. We.